Hello. Oh, I am so excited. This is the very first live stream of the Free Web Development Bootcamp. Hey, um, so even though this is live, some of you may be watching this later, and that's super okay as well. So the whole point of this bootcamp is we've tried to make it as not difficult to fail, but sort of as low stakes as possible. So let's talk about the different components for the webcam, for the boot camp. But I was going to ask you as well, hey, can you please, if it's not a bother, let me know, folks who are here live. If you're not here live, you can join us in the forum later, or you can join us in the Discord later. We'll chat to you and be just as excited as if you were here live. But folks who are here live, can you let me know if you feel like it, if you're comfortable, where you're from, and why you like, what's your goal? What would you like to get out of learning web development? Just so I can try and tailor this. So wonderful. We're going to be learning web development today and for the next 6 weeks. Really, really chill. Oh, I'm seeing folks from the UK, London. Oh, did somebody say Birmingham? Like Birmingham here? Oh, I'm in Birmingham as well. We've got folks in Spain and South Africa and India and New York. And we've got somebody said, oh, I really want to upskill. That's fabulous. Folks in Germany, I love this. This is so, so exciting to get folks from around the world. Hopefully, this isn't a terrible time for you. If you're watching this at 3 in the morning, you can log off, come back and get me later. It's fine. But what we're going to be doing today is first talking about what is the web, just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and start getting into Free Code Camp. So the boot camp is absolutely, completely, perfectly free. I can't charge you. I wouldn't charge you. If anybody tries to take your money for this, they're scamming you. But you are going to want to go ahead and sign up for a Free Code Camp account. And let's actually go to the main page for Free Code Camp just to see what this is. Free Code Camp is a nonprofit. They're fantastic. I don't work for them. I love them though. And they build these really, really fantastic, completely free curriculum courses. And what we're doing at the boot camp is we're adding these live streams to try and help out. We've got the forums to try and help out. And actually, I've got a fantastically brilliant colleague joining me quietly on the stream. Kinjal, can everybody say hey to Kinjal, please? If that's not a bother, I just like to make a fuss. Kinjal, could you drop a link to the forums if it's not a bother? So, Free Code Camp, amazing. You are as brilliant as you are patient. Thank you. So the cool thing, and that's group.classcentral.com, very chill. The good people at Free Code Camp, look at all of these different curriculums they have available. We're going to be learning the responsive web design certification, and you're going to need to go and sign up for your own account at freecodecamp.org. This is the old web one. We used to do this one. I like the new one a lot better. And some of you are also learning with Ramon, and you'll be doing JavaScript with him, which is another one of these. But I'm going to come in and say, oh, here's the new responsive web design. And let's go ahead and take a look. This is going to be nice and scary. This is going to be what we're looking at today. We're going to be learning about HTML. Oh, and somebody catch me if I do this wrong. Hypertext Markup Language, HTML. And what this is this is a language that puts content on our web page. Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit more about this as we go. The whole point of this is it's supposed to be as easy as possible. If you can't make the live streams, that's not a problem. If you don't find the videos useful, that's not a problem. If you want to take a break and come back next bootcamp, or if you want to take a break and come back to the videos later, all of these are just to try and make things easier for you. There's no tests. There's no way to fail. Well, I mean, you might take a break and have to come back to it after a while. That often feels like a failure, but I'd argue that a break is never a failure. But really, it's designed to make it as chill as possible. Did anybody have a difficult experience in school? So, like worrying about attendance or tests or scores. We're not doing any of that. I will never take your attendance. I will never, I hope I'll never yell at you. But what we're going to do today is we've got 68 different lessons. How scary, how big, but they're little, tiny, safe, quiet lessons. The nice thing about programming is this is really low stakes right now. None of this can hurt us. None of this is bad for us. Oh, we've got a really good question from RM who said, oh, hey, can we ask, are you a developer and how much experience do I have in web development? So I'm actually not a developer these days. I work with strategy. And a big part of why I wanted to come and do this is this lets me review. And I'm going to model being not the best web developer in the world, but in a very relaxed way. Yeah. And how much experience do I have in web development? I can't really explain that without explaining how old I am. But I made my first websites when I was mumble years old, back before CSS existed. So I'm not great at it, but I've been doing it for a long time and it's going to be super chill. There's tons of people out there that are way more talented, Ramon. But we'll work through this together and it's going to be super, super mellow. I'm seeing a bunch of you saying, oh, I've done a lot of web development before. I'm going to be mean and bully you all to help your classmates. So we're going to start at one. The really evil thing I'm going to do is we're going to go through some of these lessons together, but we're not going to finish them. There's a lot of argument about, oh, is learning programming very easy? I think that's terrible to tell people, especially people who might be having a hard time, that it's easy. So people say, oh, it's very hard. My personal philosophy is that learning programming is just very, very annoying for a long time. It's annoying in a good way if you like puzzles. But yeah, so it's really about not is it easy, is it hard, but how long are you willing to be a little bit annoyed for? And it's 2022. The whole world's annoying and stressful. Rajesh is asking, in Free Code Camp, where do I go? Sorry, I'm allergic to everything. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. And someone asks, how do I get to the camp? That's okay. You want to go to freecodecamp.com. Very chill. Let's get y'all set up. And you want to go to the first lesson. Oh, Kinjal, you are a saint. Thank you. freecodecamp/learn/2022/responsive web design. Cool. And the big thing I want to sell you is I am a huge goofus and I can do this. So I think that we can do this together. All of y'all watching, none of you are going to be as terrible a goofus as I am, I promise. So the first thing we're going to talk about is HTML elements. And an element is sort of like a block. And later, remember this, when we get to CSS, we're going to learn that everything's a block, everything's a rectangle. But that's just a spoiler. So an HTML element is a single unit, a thing that we're going to put on our website. And that doesn't really track yet, but we'll get there, And HTML elements are made of tags. So here we've got an H1 tag. We've got a little Pac-Man and a little Pac-Man, and it says H1 in there. And that's me telling my browser, and we'll talk a little bit about browsers as we go. It's me saying to my browser, hey, I'd like to begin an H1 element. I'm going to be super, super. Somebody's asking, oh, do we get a certificate? You will absolutely get a certificate from Free Code Camp, which is very, very good. So an H1 element is a heading element. We start with our little Pac-Man brace. We say, I would like to have an H1 element. And then we close it. And that's our opening tag. Here we see it. Do you know what? Can you all see? Do we want to make this very big? Oof, that's very big. Is that a little bit better? Here we've got our instructions where it says HTML elements have opening tags like H1, and I've highlighted H1. And here on line 3, we see the HTML code, opening brackets H1, just like it's shown us in the instructions. And then we've got a closing element. And what a closing tag is doing is saying, hey, browser. I told you I was going to have a heading, an H1, a big heading, but I'm done with that now. I want to end this element. I want to finish it. So we've got our opening tag, H1 here, and our closing tag. And we see our closing tag has, sorry, I'm backwards because of the camera. Closing tag has a little slash. And that's how we say, hey, we're finished here. Yeah. And here it says hello world. And this is very traditional. So tradition, programming, such a new art. Is it a science? I'd love to argue about this, but it's got a lot of little traditions. And one tradition is that hello world is generally the first thing you write when you're learning a new programming language. So here we've got a heading, an H1 element that has our opening H1 tag, our closing tag, and then this is the content. This is the text. So we've got an H1 element on our page that says, hello world. Cool, cool. But we've got to do something to pass. Here it says, find the H1 element. It's not terribly hard to find. It's the only element. And change its text to cat photo app, because we're going to build a cat photo app together. Cat photo. And this is super chill. We're just, and I hate saying just, because when somebody's, oh, we'll just, and then it's a hard thing. That's so stressful. But here, we're going to change the text. We deleted hello world. We wrote in cat photo app. Christian is asking, hey, where can I find the stream when it's done? Class Central, it's going to be up on Class Central's YouTube. It's going to be super chill. What we're about to do right now is the best part of Free Code Camp. Are you ready? It's also the worst part. Oh, so somebody's asking, what does H1 mean? So we'll learn a little bit more about that, but there's different kinds of headings. And if you don't mess with them, H1's going to be the biggest heading, but it's not big. Oh, the grumpy MB's got me. I'm going to put you up on the screen. So H1 means a heading, the main heading. H2 means the second most important headings. So if you have a pizza menu, and then you say vegetarian pizzas, meat pizzas might be H2s. Chai's asking, can I have spaces? If that's not overly familiar to call you my love, you can have a space. It's not, you probably don't want to add a space in here, but it didn't break anything. Our H1 still looks like it did. That's fine. That's chill. But we can definitely have spaces in here. Oh, a double space is a full stop, isn't it? We can have as many spaces as we want, and they'll come into the heading. I'm going to delete them. When you've done what it asks you to do, what you do is click check your code. Oh, fantastic. And this runs our tests. This says, perfect, wonderful, your code passes. And we'll talk a little bit more about the idea of tests, because tests, I know I promised you, there's no attendance, there's no tests. Here we're talking about technical tests. Little tiny automated ways to see, oh, did the code I write make sense? Did the code I write do what I wanted it to do? And this isn't just for learning. This will be in the real world as well. Submit and go to the next challenge. Amazing. But very quietly, we're starting to get some very secret previews. Look up at line 1 where it says HTML. We see the opening of an HTML element. Yeah. Oh, Ray's asking a really good question saying, hey, I love this question. Why can't we see the other lines? And that's because we're in an artificial environment right now. So we're in a tutorial environment. So it's sort of hiding some things from us right now to say, hey, we'll show you more of this HTML as we get used to it. But right now, we're just going to show you a little bit at a time. Yeah. Somebody's asking if this is live. And if you are watching it right now, it absolutely is. So where are you? So here it says, here we go. Somebody just asked, are there other headings? And it says, you can have an H1 for your most important heading. You usually just have one. And then you can have all the way down to H6. The higher the number, the more important. Patrick, thank you so much. You are durably, perfectly correct. So H1 is going to be the most important heading on your page. And then as they get less important, they go down to down as far as H6. Oh, do you know what? I love teaching because y'all ask absolutely wild questions. Can I write H1 in cap? Yeah. HTML is super fault tolerant. You can do stuff. There's a bunch of rules, and some of them are official rules, so they're standards, and we'll talk about that. We'll have some guest sessions. We'll have somebody come and talk to us about web standards. But if you make some weird mistakes, usually, so best practices are, hey, this is the best way to be writing this code. This is the ideal way. But if I mix this and this one's capital and this one's lowercase, it still works. You probably don't want to do it. It's not best practices, but it'll be fine. Yeah. So where am I? What are we doing? So H1 to H6 exist. Cool, cool, cool. So H1 are the most important. H2 are less important. Yeah. So we're going to add an H2. Open Pac-Man. You know what? I feel so bad being a teacher because the foolish stuff I say. Last boot camp, I think I was calling the HTML brackets pointy babies. And I hope nobody did that and went into an interview and say, oh, I'll just write some pointy babies. Here it wants us to put in H2. H2. And this feels pretty accessible. So say, okay, cool. We've got our H1 up there. The H2 is going to be the exact same syntax, the exact same sort of grammar. And we can just put it up there. Just. We can just write a mysterious and stressful new programming language. Ooh, hang on. Let's grab a couple quick questions. We've got Quadri saying, hey, is HTML case sensitive? And Blizzard is saying, it's cool. It's not case sensitive. It's chill. Then I've got Vineet who's saying, hey, and you have obviously done this before. You say, I think it should say doc type. And we'll get there. It's abstracted that away. Yeah. So here, this is such a good question. So what are the font sizes of the respective headings? I have to look that up on MDN, but the thing is the font sizes aren't permanent. We can change those with CSS, and we're going to be doing that. So let's break down the stuff we're going to be doing. HTML puts stuff on your page. CSS is like a deeply fashionable maven who comes into the room and says, I see all of this HTML, and I give you your style rules. This is how big you should be. This is what color you should be. Yeah. So hang on. These are a ton of good questions. I'm going to ignore you just a second. So Charlene is asking, wait, I want to change the font. Oh, we got a bunch of people saying, can I change the font? Can I change the font? We can. We'll get there with yeah. We're going to change the font with CSS. It's going to be chill. Everything's chill. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and check our code. We've got that little green stripe. Everything's fine. It's just programming. It can't hurt us. And now, so we've already got a bunch of different elements. Let's go ahead and let's do this really fast, heartbreakingly fast. Here, we're going to add a P element. Does anybody know what the P element stands for? I'll give you a hint. It's a paragraph. It's a terrible hint. And this is where we put, oh, Dove, can I steal from you very quickly? You could say that HTML makes up the cast of the play. CSS dresses it up. And yeah, JavaScript like makes the script, makes the action happen. Super chill. So thank you very, very much. One thing we're going to do is I'm not calling programmers lazy, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to copy and paste. We've opened our P element with our little pointy babies. We've closed our P element with our pointy babies and our slash. And here I've copied and pasted in, click here to view more cat photos. And I'd always like to view more cat photos. Let me know if it's green. Oh, it's green. Everything's fine. If some of you have joined Ramon. So Ramon teaches the JavaScript class. He's wonderful. Every time Ramon passes one, he gives himself a little pat on the back, which I think is heartbreakingly sweet. For me, I'm always waiting for something bad to happen. So whenever I get something my test to pass, I just relax 1% more. Let's do our, because we're only on step 4 and there's like 60 of these. Comments. I'm going to put this to the class. Why would I want to do a comment? Why would I want to be able to leave a comment in HTML? And while you guys get it, while y'all get a chance to answer, I'm going to talk to you about what a comment means. This is my ability, or your ability, to leave a note in the HTML. It's not going to show up on your page, but it can be publicly viewable. So if somebody right-clicks on most websites and says view source, yeah, they can see your comments. Yeah, perfect. So comments are like private notes to yourself for other developers, but I want to be super, super careful. Linda's saying, oh, this is a reminder. I like that as well. The biggest lie in programming is saying to do or fix later. But even though these feel like little secret notes, yeah, other developers, it explains what a piece of code does. Ubed, I love this. You leave a comment so the next person to use your code, and we've got another one from Rachel saying, hey, you know what? This is for the next person to know what's going on. I love it. Let's come in. And the way so we're going to leave a comment right here. Oh, above this is why we read our instructions. Above, y'all need to catch these. And I love comments because they're such a weird syntax. They're pointy baby, exclamation part, dash, dash. And look at this. I've told you about lies. This is my favorite lie, to do. And to-dos are always lies because it's the kind of soft lie you tell yourself. And then we have another dash, dash, and our closing pointy baby. We don't need a slash here, just because comments are a little weird. And you notice that as I typed this hasn't shown up here. It's our secret little code. But carefully, calmly, yeah. Sometimes people can see, yeah, HTML comments feel secret, but they're not that secret. Oh, I love this. Hey, sometimes you can leave a little joke for your friend. But since just normal users can see your HTML comments, don't cuss. No swearing, nothing rude, nothing that's going to get you fired, yeah? Let's check our code. Oh, my code doesn't pass. To do. Oh, you know what? I copied the wrong to do. That's okay. And this really should, I'm going to pretend I did this on purpose because a test not passing can't hurt us. It's not the end of the world. Nothing bad has happened. Well, nothing bad is happening right here in the bigger, wider world, huh? But our test didn't pass. Oh, so somebody's asking, how did I add the comment at the top? I came to the P line and pushed enter. Okay. I don't like this extra white space. Let's check our code again, and I think everything's going to be okay. Everything's fine. We can relax 1%. Yeah, so we've got a couple of different people pointing out something really cool. Sometimes tech companies will hide job ads in HTML. So starting to look at those. And Teddy Bear, hello, Teddy, I remember you from the last course at Delight. Yeah, so it's just cool to be able to see them. Let's go to the next, and let's speed up a tiny bit to be mean. HTML doesn't just have elements that show up on your screen, but it also has some semantic elements. And HTML5 just means, you know how there's an iPhone, someone help me, what's the most recent iPhone? iPhone 47. But we've had HTML 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is sort of the ongoing one forever. HTML5 has semantic elements, and these are elements that give meaning. And we'll learn. Somebody said we think the iPhone is 13. You know what? I remember when the first one came out, little old lady I am. And we'll learn more and more about semantic elements as we go. But here, a semantic element just means that it's an element that carries meaning. And what do we think this main one means? Oh, we want it after. Heck, heck, heck. We want it after. We want the main element to start after the H1. Okay, okay, okay. And then close it after the P. Perfect, perfect. Everything's okay. So here, what we're doing with this main element is we're really yelling at our browser nicely. We're saying, hey, the most important stuff on my page is going to be in here in this main bit. And this can be really useful for somebody using assistive technology like screen readers, and we'll talk about that. But it can also be really, really good for robots who want to look at your page, like Google. Our test passes, nothing bad is happening. Let's keep going. Okay, so we made an H2 in our last step. And our P elements are inside our main element. And this is going to be a weird concept we're going to talk about real fast. Yeah. So what we've got here is nesting. And sometimes you'll hear something like a parent element and a child element. And that's the same idea as nesting. So here we've got a main element, and then nested inside. So main, and then inside the main element, we've got our H2, and we've got our P, and then our main ends. So these live inside. They're like the cute little children of main. And we'll be talking about parent and child elements a lot more. So I just want to preview that. Yeah. Oh, so someone's asking, is it possible to leave a comment inside of a tag? I wouldn't do that. I don't think that'll work. We've got somebody else that, can I put an H1 in the main? I probably wouldn't do it. I think best practices is you want to leave your title outside of your main a lot, but that's fine. Why does the same question? Why did we put our main after H1? Our title is probably duplicated information. Yeah. Sorry, y'all have very good questions, but I also want to make sure I'm not abandoning you. Oh, my opening P tag. Oh. So this is asking me to have good styling, which I never do. It's saying, hey, we want to be able to see at a glance who is nested inside of who. So it said, can you go ahead and change the spacing of this paragraph so that we can see who's the parent and who are the three children here? That's okay. Let's try it again. Fabulous. Everything's fine. Okay. Images. I'm a little bit excited. It's because I get to make a really, really weird sound. Oh, no, wait. The weird sound comes with links. I'm being weird. Image elements are kind of annoying because they're different. They're not two different open and close tags. It's a self-closing tag. And you say, Jess, why did they make some of these self-closing? And I say, to be weird. So here, it's just saying add an image element. And we don't know enough about an image element. I think that might work. So it just said add an image element. And I said, okay, let me just put this in a tag. That worked just fine. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going. Nice. So we're not just having the tags. We're going to use some attributes. And these are special words that add context, that really give directions to the element we're using. So here, I've got an image tag, and it doesn't do a single heckin' thing, does it? Image, nothing. But what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, image, I want to set the SRC. I want to set the source of this image. I want to show you where to get it. And now we're going to do something dangerous. Ready? We're going to go and take this. Let's talk a little bit about URLs. So this is a picture. This is the address of a picture. And what we're going to do is here we've said, hey, I want to have an image element. And now I want to set the source of it. That's super chill. And I'm going to set the source of it to this address. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so we've got a really good one to say, oh yeah, a URL and a hyperlink is the same thing, kind of the same thing. So this one's a web address. We'll talk about a hyperlink in a second. It's going to be super chill. Oh, are you okay for audio? So, can y'all hear me okay? It looks like a second ago folks were having some issues with audio. I just wanted to check in and that was okay. Also, I wanted to have an excuse to grab a glass of water. Cool, everything's fine then. Everything's going to be fine. So what we've done here is we've added a link to an image that we don't own. We don't control this. What could be dangerous about linking to an image that isn't on our own website, that isn't on our own server? Oh, so here's really good. Lash is asking, can I have an image on my computer? And this is a problem I had for a long time. So say, hey, I have an image on my computer. How do I put it on the internet? Yeah. And sorry, someone's asking, wait, I have a question. Why is this cat so cute? I can't. All cats are beautiful. If you have an image on your computer, you're going to need to upload it. You're going to need to put it on the internet so that you can link to it. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So I asked, why do I not want to link to somebody else's image? We've got some good ones to say, hey, they could move, they could change it. And Miriam is just like, I mean, aside from copyright, which is apps, the link could break. The image could be removed. Oh, here's my favorite one. The owner could be like, huh, I see you linking to my website, my images, and I don't think that's cute. They could change the cute baby kitten to a picture of a butt. And that would just boom, show up on your website. So please, 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 please don't link to somebody else's images. It's always a bad idea. Let's check our code. Everything's fine. We can see a cat. So it feels like we don't need a test, but we've got a test. Let's keep going. Alt text. You must always, 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 with a few exceptions, have good alt text. Yeah. So here, alt text is text that describes what this picture is. And while I'm writing this out, why can you think of reasons why I would want text describing what this picture is? Yeah. Ooh. Oh, somebody's pointing out, say, hey, this self-closing tag doesn't need a closing slash. It doesn't. It's super weird. If we add one, it won't break, but it's just so weird, right? Sorry, and that's, yeah. So I want to add an alt text because of accessibility. If I've got a visually impaired user who can't see this image, maybe they still want to know what it is. Yeah. Or, hey, maybe the image isn't loading. Everybody, yeah, we've got tons of people. So we've got Sabrina saying screen readers, and that's special tooling for folks who are visually impaired so they can surf the web happily. Super cool, right? Yeah. And the general rule for this is we're going to copy and paste. The text we're using is a cute orange cat lying on its back. Our general approach is we want to give enough information to know what's going on with this. I'm going to put this up on the screen because the Grumpy MB is saying, oh, ALLY with Lindsay.com. And here's a blog on why alt text matters. Oh, you know what? This is true. It's so good for search engine indexing. It tells people with a bunch of different needs, but it also tells robots. Yeah. Somebody's asking, how do we link an image to our computer? Let's go ahead and talk about that in Discord, just because I want to be able to take a little bit of time, but I also want to hustle through some of these. Sorry to cheat. Or on the forum if you're more comfortable on the forum. our tests pass, everything's fine. Let's try and get through at least the first third of this. This is where I get to make a silly sound. And I get to talk about philosophy. Are you ready? So, when we think about HTML, we think about pages. We talk about web pages. The web is conceptually a bunch of documents. And you might think documents like a book or documents like a report or a letter. And that's kind of the deal. I mean, obviously, we've got applications on the web now. It's not just documents. But I think it's really useful to think of the web. And it was originally invented by Tim Berners-Lee, who just lives up the way in England. Was created as a bunch of documents, but that link together. So the two really fundamental, really foundational concepts of the web are, hey, I want to have a bunch of digital documents. We've got that, we can see. And I want to be able to link them together. So really, we're going to learn about links, and this is super important, right? So we're going to add an anchor element after the paragraph. Let's do this. So A for anchor, and this is the one that is really, really important. We're going to add a href, hypertext reference. And I always like to think of an anchor as like an anchor. Ooh, we've got two good questions, and I'm going to ask this one first. Hey, how long would the session be? I'd like to try and go into to get maybe the first 20 steps or so probably for a little bit longer. But how about we go ahead and have a break? Let's do 3 or 4 more of these, and then I'll take a little break to answer some questions. Does that sound okay? And then we've got, hey, can I have an image that's a link? You can. We'll get there. It's cool. So here, think of an anchor. And for those of you who speak other languages than English, what's an anchor in your language? I'm thinking of like a big metal weight for a ship. Let me go ahead and put the emoji in here. Anchor. So I think of an anchor, because this is an anchor. I always think of it as the actual big metal anchor, yeah? And I remember this href as the sound, ruff, of throwing a big, heavy anchor. And our anchor has a chain on it. And we can go ahead, if I take an anchor and I throw it at another document, another website, then I've got a chain from that anchor linking my website and my link to that one. Yeah. Oh, these are beautiful. That's, oh gosh, I'm going to try and pronounce Ancia in Spanish. How beautiful. Yeah. Oh, we've got somebody saying it. Oh, it's Ancla, not Ancia. Oh gosh, I'm rubbish. Y'all are too patient. Whew. So let's go to a ref, which is our throwing. And we're setting that to equals to, and then we're going to put the address here in this. And we're going to link it to FreeCatPhotoApp.com. And we're going to close our anchor. Look like we're going to do it all wrong. Look how rubbish this is. This hasn't got a thing. I don't see a link. There's no link. Whew. And that's because we need some anchor text. Right now, this link exists, but there's nothing to see visually. So here, oh, there we are. Here you are. Here we go. We've created some anchor text. So our link was conceptually there, but it didn't really exist until I added some anchor text to be able to see it. So what are the anchor text at this point? Ooh, I cheated a little bit. At this point, the link won't show up in preview. Let's check our code. Everything's fine. So be cool. This is saying it wants money. Hang on. So the bootcamp is completely free. You never have to pay any money. But Free Code Camp is a nonprofit, so they provide all of this for free. If you have the money and if you feel like it, it's super cool to donate to them. None of the money comes to me. None of it comes to Free Code Camp. But at the same time, if you don't have the money, and times are tough, right? Don't you dare go spending money you don't have. So, where am I? Where am I? So we need some anchored text, like we've talked about. And this one we can do really fast and say, cat photos. Amazing. Very calm. Ooh, Lisa's getting a little bit ahead of us in the best possible way. And Lisa's saying, oh, hey, if you wanted to make an image a hyperlink, here's the center. And we're going to do it in just a second, aren't we? It's going to be super mellow. Let's do just a couple more of these, and let's take that break and answer some of your questions, if that's okay. So here we've got the text cat photos underlined as a link. Super, super chill. Yeah. In the text of my P element, turn the words cat photos into a link, and then remove the old anchored text and text below the paragraph. I see what this is asking. Oh, so here it says cat photos, and here it says cat photos, and I think that it wants the link to be up there in the paragraph, yeah? Sandeep is asking, wait, what's a href? It is a hypertext reference. It's the whoof, where you're throwing that anchor. Yeah. So I want to, in the text of my P element, turn the words cat photos into a link. And I'm going to actually cheat. I'm very lazy. And if I want the text in my paragraph to be a link, got it. Oh, is it a hypertext reference? Yeah, for href. But here we've got, click here to view more cat photos, and that's not going to work. How about I delete you, cat photos? Okay, click here to view more cat photos. I'm going to be a little bit sneaky because I still want to have that full stop. Just to be, let's see if this works. So click here to view more cat photos. I can see a little tiny pop-up that tells me that the link worked. And my tests pass. Nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. Ooh, this is super cool. You know how sometimes when you click on a link, it'll open a new tab and sometimes it won't? That is a web developer that has done that to you on purpose. And here's how we do it. Yeah. Let's come right all the way down here. We're going to add a target attribute. And remember, attributes are like our href here. They're additional context. We can do this. And we could add it right here. Or we could add, we still need a little bit of space. We could add it at the end. It really doesn't matter. It's super chill. Oh, yeah, let's do this one. And let's take a little tiny break to ask some of these questions. Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? So target, we want to make this open in a new tab. So we say blank. Oh, yeah, we're not setting the colors quite yet. A target equals blank. Let's check our code and everything's fine. Let's go ahead and take a little tiny break. So if you're following along, let's go ahead and take 2 or 3 minutes. So if you need to get a bio break or get some water, but let me go ahead and take this opportunity to answer some of your questions because these are super, super good. I love this question because this is a question for other learners. Just somebody saying, hey, are folks doing the lessons before and then reviewing? Or are folks doing them along with the live stream? Or are folks doing them afterwards? I'd put this question to the learners. I know a lot of people do this in a lot of ways. I like to encourage folks to experiment and find what works best for you. What else do we have? Oh, heck. I really appreciate that you all have been super good about answering each other's questions as well. Oh, we've got a couple different people asking, does it matter if I use single quotes or double quotes? So you always have to be, if you open with a single quote, you should close with, if you open with a double quote, you should close with a double quote or single as well. But you can use either and they work just fine. It's a personal preference, what people in the project are doing. Ooh, so why is the A element? Ooh, I love this question because this is going to make you miserable. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, that's mean. But hey, why is this on this line? HTML has sort of a natural flow. Some types of elements are block and some types of elements are inline. And we'll learn a little bit more about that. And the reason it's on the same line is it's an inline element. They can both sit on the same one unless we add some space. Yeah. Oh, some people are so saying, oh, well, I did. Look at you, absolute teacher's pets. I did my lessons first. Ha ha ha. Perfect. Excellent. Perfect. Ooh. Is HTML language sensitive? I think it almost always uses American English. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, we've got somebody saying, I'm doing the lessons at the same time. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. So Caleb's asking, wait, so target means that when somebody clicks my link, it's going to open in a new browser window? Absolutely. Yeah, it's super chill. Oh, we got folks following along. Everything's mellow. Oh gosh, there was somebody saying I've missed one of your questions. I'm so sorry. Could I get it one more? And I'll have some space to answer questions at the end as well, if that's okay. And if we don't get your questions answered, I'm so sorry. There's like 500 of y'all. Hello. Oh, how scary. Heck. But if we don't get your questions answered, come and hang out in the forums, come and hang out in Discord, and either myself or the other learners or our brilliant mentors will help. Oh, we've got a good question saying, hey, oh, heck. Thank you. So we've got Neil saying, can I use just the attribute without using the anchor tag? I'm so sorry you can't. Yeah. Ooh. So Ibrahim's asking, will I teach JavaScript? I will absolutely not teach JavaScript. I'm very bad at JavaScript. There is a JavaScript bootcamp. Yeah, definitely do that instead. Oh, and we've got one more question, and it's super, and then we'll go right back into the lessons, yeah? So I thought you could set the language to HTML length, and that's true, but that's setting the language you're using on your page, not setting the language that HTML works with. So there is a programming language called Heady, which actually I'll try and find it really fast. Heady is the only programming language I know where you can mix and match different languages, and I think that's super cool. I think Heady. It's not a web language. You don't have to learn it. It's a learning one. So let's go ahead and get right back in. Yeah. So somebody's asking, can our next assignment be making a cat web page? I have good news for you. We are making a cat web page. So we got asked this before. Turn our image into a link by moving the image inside, nesting it inside. Ooh, Fred. So the href attribute. And this is just absolutely wild. Look at this. So we're really writing, and then the A tag comes, the closing anchor tag comes after the image. Isn't this super weird? And now, oh, no, it's saying, hey, do you want to go and use this link? I don't want to use this link. But right now, this link doesn't go anywhere yet. Yeah. So let's go to, oh, you know what? We could just, grab this and copy and paste it. And if I've missed one of your questions, I'm so sorry. I think there's a whole bunch of questions. So come and get me in Discord or on the forum, and I'll get you if I've accidentally missed you. Ready? We're going to check our code, because I see my little pointy hand. We're going to check our code. Amazing. Everything's fine. We're going to submit and go to the next challenge. So Oh, we talked a little bit about semantic elements. So the elements that communicate meaning. And here, we're going to create a section element. And this is really, really cool because we're just making a conceptual box. We say, hey, this section has similar kinds of things. And I want to create a conceptual box. And why we might do that will make a lot more sense when we learn some CSS, but it can be really good for accessibility and search engine optimization as well. So where do we want this? Take all of the elements currently located within the main element and nest them in a section element. So right under main, yeah. Oh, somebody's asking how to copy and paste. I'm Command and C for copy and Command and V for paste, I think. Where am I? Oh gosh, I've lost my fool self. So we've got section, it's opening it. And then I want to say it's nested within the main. So I'm going to come right up to where main ends. I'm going to put a section right on top. Ooh, what's wrong with this though? There we go. I think this should work just fine. Yeah? Ready? Did it work? Oh, it's fine. We've got that green bar. Everything's relaxing. Let's go ahead and hop on. We're at 16. I'd like to get a little bit. Let's speed it up just a tiny bit. Nothing bad's going to happen. We're going to add a new section right under our existing section. We're going to do this one super fast. We've already made a section. This one's blank. But we've done this one super heckin' fast. Open it, close it, and on to the next step. So within this section, we're going to add an H2, and we're going to do this one super fast as well. I like to open and close my elements when I first write them, just to keep me honest. And to be increasingly mean, we're just going to go a little bit fast to this, yeah? Cat lists, we check our code, everything continues to be fine. Whew. So after our last H2, we're going to add an H3. Yeah. Ooh, and I'm going to have to get, just while I'm thinking of this, can you all give me examples of things cats love, please? And while you are dreaming up and informing, educating me about what cats like, I'm going to make an H3. So that's a less important than my H1, less important than my H2. I have an H3. And I'm going to copy and paste. So highlight the text, Command C to copy, Command V to paste. Yeah, I'm going to check my code. Things continue to be fine. Ooh, now you all are going to have to tell me what cats actually like. The first thing I'm going to do, ooh, boxes, nice. I'm going to create an unordered list. I'm going to open it. Oh, and I'm going to close it. And what's menacing here is nothing has happened. What I need to do, oh, I've gotten allergic to everything, is, ooh, what do I think I need to do? I know, I'm sorry this is going a little bit fast. I'd rather cover this a little bit quick. Oh, we've got somebody telling me that what cats hate, and we'll definitely get there in a second. I'm going to check our code, and it's told me I'm not going to see anything yet. That's fine. Let's go to our next challenge. And this is showing us what our code's going to look like. It says, hey, it's the open tag, UL, close tag, an unordered list, but then we need to have these tags for list item elements inside our list. Let's try one. And y'all know that I'm well lazy, right? So it says I want 3 of these. Oh no, I have to use these things cats love. I wanted to use yours. So I've got 3 lists, and I've copied and pasted those as well. Yeah. And here, you all had some very good answers. You know, cats love yarn. You gotta supervise them because they can swallow. Laser pointers. Cats love sleep. Oh, cats love scratching and treats. Love it, love it. So This one's telling me, and I'm going to copy and paste these, Control C, Control V, cats like catnip. Somebody said laser pointers, and then we've got laser pointers here. Laser pointer, and we've got lasagna. Everything's fine. And you see that when we scroll down to take a look at the preview, these have showed up in these beautiful little tiny dots. So there's actually a couple of different ways to do lists. This is an unordered list. What do you think an ordered list, an OL, would look like? Oh, we've got numbers. Cool. Everything's chill. Let's go back to our unordered list, what it asked for. Let's check our code. It's all green. We can see our list of things cats love. Everything's fine, and everything's going to be fine. Yeah. So, let's going to go ahead. After our unordered list, we're going to add a new image that links to this, and we're going to add the alt attribute of a slice of lasagna on a plate. And we've done all of these aspects separately, so we're going to do them a little bit fast. Yeah? We're going to do it a little bit fast, and it's going to feel weird. Yeah, it's going to feel weird. Image is our attribute, and then src for our source. Oh, image is our element, source is our attribute. Oof, sorry. And that's self-closing, so we don't have to add anything else. And we're going to go ahead and make the space for our alt attribute. Yeah. So here we've got the skeleton. We've got where this goes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the location for this image, and I bet money, well, I mean, not actual money, I don't have any actual, that it's going to be a picture of lasagna. And let's go ahead and copy our alt text, which is a slice of lasagna on a plate, which is that lasagna looks fantastic. I'm starving. Oh no. I know this is super, super fast, but the video is going to be there, and you can go ahead and take as much time as you need on the actual lessons. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Ooh, and I've got a fantastic question, and I want to talk about this. And I know I'm so sorry I can't get all the questions. There's so many of these. Hey, Jess, when you showed us an ordered list, why did it show us an ordered list even though the closing tag was still for an unordered list? So HTML is very fault tolerant. It means you can make some kinds of mistakes, and HTML is just cool with it. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is we'll talk about this again and again. HTML starts just like a document, just like a book, just like most types of modern Western scripts. I want to be careful. HTML is going to start at the top of your page, the top of your code, and it's going to read it straight down. Yeah? And if it's, so HTML said, reading your code. Oh, here's an order, here is an ordered list. I will start an ordered list. But it doesn't need to, yeah, you can leave it sort of unclosed, and it's not great, but it'll still technically work. Let's check our code. Everything's fine. We're going to keep going a little bit fast just to be mean and make sure we sort of preview. So figure. This is a brand new element, and this is going to make us a caption. And you say, Jess, how do you know how to type this? I said, well, this is the usual syntax for an element. Yeah, we haven't seen a figure element before, and it hasn't given us some the syntax, so we're just going to assume it's not self-closing. Yeah. Oh, we've got somebody saying, hey, we've been an hour. When does this live stream close? We'll probably be doing this for a little bit yet, maybe another half hour. If you're someplace with expensive internet, come and watch that. You don't have to watch this live. Come and check this out if the next time you're near Wi-Fi. Don't you spend too much money on this. This isn't going to go away. So we come in, we're on step 22, and we're just going to add a figure. I think we can push our test. Oh, the lasagna image should be nested inside the figure element. Well, rubbish. So it's saying I want this image inside of this figure. I can do that. And because I'm very lazy, I'm going to cut off the opening tag. I'm just going to squish it right here at the top. I think this should pass now. Everything, we don't have a caption yet. Ooh, let's go down. We don't have it, but I'm not too stressed out. I bet that's the next step. Ah, here we are. So here we've got our figure, and we've got to add a fig caption to add our caption. All right. So so after the image, add a fig caption element. We can do that. Fig. Oh no, now I want figs. We're going to close our fig caption. I like to close them. And I'm going to add the text. Cats love lasagna. Yeah. And here we're only seeing the top of it because it reads it top down. Let's go down and see. Cats love lasagna, and that's associated with this. And a fig caption here is a little bit better than just using a paragraph, because these are going to be semantically linked. They're linked in a way that shares meaning, which is good for accessibility and search engine optimization. And it's just best practice. It's good code. Our test pass, we have the green banner of peacefulness. And let's keep going. How about, let's check. You know what? Let's check. Responsive web. How many do we have? Let's try and do at least half, if that's okay. 64. Okay, so we want to get to 32. Is that okay? We'll do half of it together. And then because I'm super mean, I'll leave you to do the hard half by yourself. But you're not really by yourself. Discord's right here and everything's okay. The forum's right here and everything's okay. You are never really by yourself. Ooh, emphasize the word love in the fig caption. Why? Oh, so we're going to use the M element. Emphasize the word love. Okay, so here's our fig caption. And helpfully, it's only given us this little piece of code to keep it from being too stressful. Ooh, yeah. So, there's 60. There's some Logan saying there's 68. So let's try and do 34 then. So we're going to wrap the word love in an emphasis tag. Ooh, and this is the same thing we saw before. So it works even if I don't end the tag, but it doesn't know where to stop. Yeah, so a lot of folks are saying, Jess, it's 64. Yeah, we'll sort you. So we're going to close our end tag. Yeah, that's super chill. That's love lasagna. We've got that in italics emphasized. That's mellow. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. I'm going to check our code. It's all green. Everything's fine. We're going to submit that and go to the next challenge. So after the figure element, here's our big figure element. Cool. We're going to so I think we're going to do the exact same sort of process, but to be cruel, I'm going to do it fast. I'm going to make another H3 element. Look at that. I'm so sorry. I've got the loudest keyboard in the world. We'll open and close our H3, and I'm going to copy and paste top 3 things. And y'all are going to have to help me. What do cats hate? So we've got our H3 just like it asked for. Our code passes. It's just asking us for little tiny steps. And it's asking us for stuff we've done before. So this feels a little chiller. This time we've got an ordered list. We just did an unordered list. We feel really confident here. I'm going to start an ordered list. And do you know what? I'm so confident about this ordered list. I'm going to close it. And I'm going to make my list items right now. Nobody can stop me. Nobody, I mean, all of y'all are the boss of me, but nobody else is the boss of me. I'm going to copy this 2 more times. Let's check out and see. So I've got top 3 things cats hate. And here I've got an ordered list with, with nothing. Yeah, so it's empty, but I've got my numbers. That's pretty cool. And here it's telling me to add in this ordered list that cats hate flea treatment. And it's going in between the opening and closing tag. And we see that is popped up on our list. That's super. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit longer. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. Ooh, heck, heck, heck. It's just getting all squished out of everything. Everything's weird, isn't it? It's a weird old day. Flea treatment. Okay, it's telling me that cats hate thunder. I think that's something dogs hate. And cats hate other cats. That's all fine. I mean, it's inconvenient that cats hate other cats, but we've got our ordered list. Everything is chill. We've got a green blob. We are perfectly chill. All right, after our ordered list, now let's do another figure element. We've done this. We feel good about this. We feel confident. Do you know what? I bet we're going to do a fig caption right after this. Yeah, we've had. There we go. Inside here, we're going to make another image. We're going to go really fast. Image source. SRC. Okay. And the thing is, you are going to make typos all the time. Not you. Everybody makes typos all the time. It's fine. Image. And remember, an image is self-closing, so we don't need to worry about closing it. But let's add this image. Cat photo app cats. And then we'll be able to see, oh no, they're little babies. Oof. So here, when we've added the image with the URL it's supplied, we see a picture of a bunch of little kittens. I bet y'all know what we're missing. Come on, yell at me, yell at me. What are we missing here? What is this image absolutely, positively must have that we don't have? Yeah. It's all text, isn't it? We're going to check our code. Everything continues to be fine. We're going to try and get through 34 of these. What are we on now? Oh, what are we on now? Huh. It'll be mysterious. So what are you telling me to do? It says you must have alt text, just like I said. Here we're going to set the alt attribute to 5 cats looking around a few. I would probably write this alt text differently. 5 perfect and cute little babies. Yeah, but that's quite good alt text. We're going to check our code. Everything's fine. Step 30, we're getting there. Everything's easy. Everything's relaxing. Nothing bad is happening. Sorry, that sounds menacing when I say it like that, doesn't it? Like nothing bad is happening. Like it's a threat to bad things on the horizon. Okay, we're doing another fig caption. We just did one. Yay! Y'all are getting way ahead of me in the most delightful way possible, fig caption. And here we're going to add cats hate other cats. Although it is a picture of cats like hanging out nicely together, so it seems weird to have the caption cat. You know what? I'm not going to copy edit them. So that worked out just fine. Step 31. So we've already learned about M. Oh yeah, a deal. I'm going to be mean and make the other students answer this for you. Why do we use alt text? Yell at me in the chat, if you don't mind. Yell at me, never a deal. So we learned about M, which gave us this love, this italics, this tilty. And now we're going to learn about strong. What do we think strong might do? So hate, I'm going to turn this strong. Yep, folks are saying, I'm going to add alt text so that visually impaired folks can understand what's going on my page, or for SEO, or in case the picture break. Yeah, it just carries a little bit of extra meaning. Oh, and look at this. So M gives us this italics, this tilty text, whereas strong gives us bold text. Perfect, sublime, incomparable. Check our code, and we cannot fail. I mean, we can fail, but not in any ways that hurt us. Let's add another section. We're on a roll. We've done 2 sections already. Let's go ahead and let's do this in a real laid back way. Section, close section. Everything is going to be sublime. I'm going to check my code. It's going to be a green stripe. Everything's fine. And do you know what? Sometimes you are that confident. You're like, I'm going to check my code. It's perfect. And your tests come back and say, no, babe, it's not. And that's also just fine. These are just websites. We are just learning. It is way more important to have a relaxing, nice experience than to be right every time. So let's add an H2 element here. Ooh, H2. And I'm going to say cat. Oh, cat form. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Cat form. So this is going to be wild because forms are really hard. And I think that maybe I might abandon y'all just as the forms get hard. Oh, no. Oh, no. But don't worry. Oh, let's talk about something very quickly. When you're stuck or when you don't know what to do, what are your options? Yeah. So when you're stuck, there's a couple different things you can do. You can ask somebody for help. And sometimes I'll be here or sometimes people. And that's a really good one. But what happens when you can't ask somebody for help? You can look it up. Yeah. I really like MDN. And if I can ask my fabulous colleague to give us a link to MDN. Oh, you know what? Platypus. I like this as well. So platypus is saying guess. What I usually tell people to do is get weird. So guess is much more polite than get weird. To say, hey, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what this does. Experiment, get weird, guess. It's all chill. Yeah. Everything's fine. So here we've got our H2 that says cat form, and you all are oh, Kelly's saying, hey, I could watch this again and look it up. Also chill. All of y'all are saying like Google. You would DuckDuckGo as well, like web search, generic web search. I'm very brand agnostic. Yeah, Linda, after my own heart. Play with it. Get weird. Experiment. The real big important thing is right now we're learning. Oh, Kelly as well. Like, babe, we got to practice. And that's the thing. So, you know that weird little bit of friction where you're like, I definitely know it's going to work. This is going to work. It's going to be great. And it just doesn't. You often learn a lot more with stuff getting stuck or with stuff not working. If stuff just works all the time, your brain never has to really wiggle around with why it works or how it works. Okay, look, you're saying, hey, you could just give up. And this sounds like bad advice, but you can give up sometimes. And not forever. We're going to have two guest speakers on Thursday, Dr. Barbara Oakley and Zach Caceres. Both of them are fantastic. And Barbara's a neuroscientist who works in like the science of, and Zach's a really good programmer. And they talk a lot about like sometimes you need to switch your mode of thinking. You need to take a break. You need to go for a walk in order to get it done. So we're going to add an H2. I think this is going to be fine. Oh, it's not even giving me that green stripe anymore. It's like, no, you know. Step 30. Now we're going to add a form element. And I might, so here we're going to open up. We've never seen a form element before, but we're going to guess. We're going to experiment. We're going to get weird. And we're going to guess that this is the same as other elements we've seen, like a normal element. Oh, Jacob was like, I love her, like Barbara Oakley's course on Coursera. I love it too. I confess, don't you dare tell her when she shows up, but she's kind of one of my heroes. So to have an excuse to invite her on the boot camp is always nice. So we've got our form element. We're gonna check our code. Perfect, sublime, nothing is wrong. Now, I said that, I'm gonna drop you at 34, but I think that maybe I'm going to take you through a little tiny bit of the form, just a couple more steps. Because remember when I was saying programming's not hard or easy, it's just annoying? Forms are super annoying. Forms are hard. Yeah? So we're going to add the action attribute. And remember that an attribute sits inside our element. We can do this. And the action's equal to submit cat photo. And here, let's talk about what this does, because we want to break this down. Here, I'm just saying, when I push go on the form, on the form. When I push go on the form, here's what I want it to do. I want it to push this information to this URL. I want you to go send or do the thing here. Yeah, the action attribute indicates where the form data should be sent. For example, form action submit URL form tells the browser that the form data should be sent to the path submit URL. I don't know why I'm doing the voice. So, okay. Let's do just a couple more, and then I'll get out of your way. This has been so long. It's the input element. So these are going to be the ways, because right now our form doesn't show anything. We're going to go ahead and add the input element. I'm going to be the meanest teacher. We're going to do a little tiny bit more, and then I'm going to leave you just as it gets hard. Yeah. So where am I reading from? I'm reading from right here in the instructions. It's super chill. I'm going to check our code. Oh, no. Our code does not. But not a closing tag. I don't need to have a closing tag for input. These tests give us really good information, don't they? Everything's fine. And do you know what? I see Ramon is in the chat. Ramon, are you busy this weekend? That's what you get for showing up at my thing. You want to do a question and answer drop then? Oh, you can't say no either. You can say no. You should say no. So here, we're going to set the type. It could be a password field or a button or a little radio button. Here, we're going to add a text field. Input, the type of, so this is a type attribute, text. Let's come down and see. Oh, look at that. We've got a little text form. We're going to check our code. Yeah. And now is when it really starts to get hard. And that is where I'm going to leave you. Not just because I'm mean. I am mean. But because pushing on the stuff and experimenting through the hard stuff is kind of the best way to learn. I'm not abandoning you, though. I promise. Still in the forums. And you know what? There's 6,000 of you. How terrifying. So please help each other as well as us trying to help you. Just because there's only one of me and there's 6,000 of y'all. And I also have to work a job. It's a good job. I like my job. But come on the forum, and my absolutely brilliant colleague, can I have the banner for the forum again? Groups.Class Central. Oh, yeah, I can find it. I'm just being lazy. Oh, thank you. So groups at classcentral.com. Come on over. Come hang out in the forums. We'll answer your questions. Or there's a Discord as well. Everything's scary and bad, and the world is stressful and weird. But this is just websites. It can't hurt. It can't hurt you till it's your job, yeah? But right now, we're just learning. These are very low stakes. Even if you get stuck, even if you get frustrated, none of this is going to hurt you, yeah? Forms are probably going to be the hardest thing you do in HTML. But if you can get through forms, the rest of HTML is super laid back. Everything's terrible and everything's scary, but everything's fine. Yeah? I'm going to go ahead and let you go. The last thing I'm going to remind you is, what do we do when we're stuck? If you're stuck, you can ask for help. Cool. And not just from a teacher, not just ask each other as well. Yeah. So ask for help. We can do that. If you can't ask for help, look it up. Go to MDN if you can. Use your favorite web search. Some of y'all like Google. Some of y'all like Ecosia I saw up there. Like the carbon neutral one's quite cool. Or DuckDuckGo. But you could just go ahead and you'll get really good at why doesn't this work? It's not a great search, but how forms tutorial. That's relaxing. So ask for help. Look it up. Or get weird. Yeah. If you've got a little bit of time, even if it's working, check it, like wiggle it around. Like, oh, hey, what if I put it up here? Oh, what if I do this? It's your website. You'll have to do the right way to get the test to pass on these. But for your projects, y'all have a lot of opportunities to get super weird. Yeah, I am so terribly sorry that I'm going to go ahead and leave you because I confess that I am absolutely starving. We've got the Discord link right there. We've talked about where you can go on the forums. The one thing, if I can ask you all for, oh gosh, no, no, no. Ha ha ha. I was going to say, if I can ask you for one favor, if I can ask you for two favors. The first favor is please be really, really lovely to each other. So be polite to your other learners. It's super good. It's chill. But also, and this is the bad one, if you could, please, I'm going to give you homework. And you're like, I'm an adult. Can you give me homework? I said, yeah, but you don't have to have it finished at a specific time. You'll probably get the most out of the next lessons if you finish the HTML. Yeah. So this is the hardest part. It'll probably take a couple hours. I'm so sorry, but we're going to be in the Discord. We're going to be on the forum. I was like, oh, what's an old-fashioned Discord forum? And we're going to be ready to help you. Sorry, I'm not snapping at you. I'm snapping at my old lady brain. And then when we come back tomorrow, we're going to start learning CSS. And remember that CSS are the rules of style. And that's going to be super chill and super nice. Yeah. What's going to be fantastic is I am terrible at CSS. I am the worst person at CSS that I've ever met. And all of you were super, super nice. So I'm going to have to try really hard not to cuss. It'll be fine. Thank you so much for the impossible privilege of getting to learn with you today. Don't work too hard. Take a lot of breaks and please help each other as you go, okay? I'll be right back at the same time tomorrow. Everything's going to be fine. I'll chat to you tomorrow to continue chuckling about how everything's going to be fine.